Come in, set your things down and come on over here. Bingo! Correct! That's a winner! Right you are! Sorry. Afraid not. Wrong. Nope. Oopsie. Incorrect. You lose. You lose. And the word was... Here's the word. Want to see the word? You won. Play again? Phew, let's give this game a rest for a while. You know what? I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I'm totally hangmaned out. I don't think I want to play anymore. Ever. Ouch! Ouch! Are we almost done? I'm trying. Hang on, I almost forgot. I heard that. You got that right. You're not talking about me, are you? Here. Afraid I've got some bad news. Take a look. Looks like you and I are both out of a job. Check it out. It's been real, Rumi. But according to this, safe and E. Well, if you had a suitcase, you'd be packing it. Read it and weep. What's the matter? Oh, goody, you're back. I'm really bored. Let's play hangman. You know how to play, right? Forget something. Hey, Rumi, how's it going? Hi, Jing Ling. I'd shake your hand, but I get flour all over you. Oh, and Heather called and told me about your luggage. No worries. I have plenty of clothes in every size imaginable. Your bedroom's down that hall. The airline lost my luggage once, told me it was gone for good and paid me $100. Then 5 years later, my suitcase shows up on my doorstep. And a bill for the $100 they'd paid me. Plus interest. What? You don't believe me? The worst part was I had to toss out almost everything that was in it. Clothes, makeup. I mean, the stuff was 5 years old, right? Ooh, you're honest, you're smart. You and I are gonna get along great, Nancy Drew. You were right not to believe me. I made it up. See, to be a good model, you kind of have to be a good actress too. So sometimes I make things up, just for practice. Just to see if I can get people to believe me. Some people, yeah. But I don't do it to be mean. And it's not like I'm hurting anybody. I'm just being creative. I've got some people convinced that I won the lottery and am actually a millionaire. It's kind of fun. You like chocolate chip cookies? So do I. And the nice thing is, heck no. I'm about 3 pounds shy of being the perfect size 12 that I need to be for Minette. I have a very high metabolism. So, I make cookies, I eat cookies, and since you're here, I share cookies. Contractually, I have to be a size 12. See, Minette is into curves, so she designs clothes for full-figured curvy women. Because I signed on to be her fitting model, I have to maintain the ideal size 12 weight and shape. Nope, it's just me. And you now. Managed to get a short-term lease. Soon as I'm done being Minette's fitting model, I am out of here. A fitting model puts on samples from a designer's latest line, so the designer can create each piece on a real live person instead of a dress form. It's not very exciting. In fact, it's totally boring. Plus, you're always getting stabbed with pins. But it pays the bills. My agent led me to believe the contract I was signing was for a standard modelling gig. It wasn't until I arrived in Paris that I realised I'd actually signed on to be Minette's fitting model. I could be stuck here for a month. Yeah, but not as sorry as my agent is, because you know what I did? About the contract? No, but about my agent. I had him take me to the hottest restaurant in Paris, and after ordering the most expensive meal I could, I stood up, dumped the dessert tray over his head, told him he was fired, then shoved him backwards into the fountain. Nobody pulls the wool over my eyes. Anyway, you're catching on. What else would you like to know? Well, Dieter, obviously. He and Minette went out for about 6 months. Then all of a sudden, last April, Minette dumped him. Just tossed him aside like last month's edition of Vogue. There's always Hugo Butterly, I guess. He and Minette are always taking pot shots at each other. Although that's probably because they know the fashion media eat that sort of stuff up. No idea. Although I suspect it has something to do with the fact that Dieter lets his pet boa constrictor run loose in that photographic studio of his. You'd have to ask him. Just watch out when you're in that photographic studio of his. He lets his pet boa constrictor slither around loose in there. That's what I said. Don't you believe me? Hardly anybody knows about it. I think it may be illegal. If you happen to be in there, be careful. Usually I'd say you were a smart kid. But in this case, I'm not lying. This time I'm telling the truth. Dieter really does keep a snake in his studio. Great. Okay, I'll think of a 6-letter word and you try to guess what it is. Ready? Anytime you want to play, just let me know. It's real easy. All you do is try to guess what 6-letter word I'm thinking of. You just say a letter, and if it's a letter in the word I'm thinking of, I'll write it down. If it's not in the word, I'll also draw part of the guy who's getting hanged. If I finish the stick figure before you guess the word, you lose. So, you ready? Okay. You know the rules, right? For crying out loud, make up your mind. You got it. I'm flattered, but unfortunately he's out of luck. Nobody gets my autograph. I'm afraid that someone will use it to forge my name and steal my identity. Stuff like that happens to people like me all the time. I'm just not going to take the chance. Want to play hangman? Of course! Sure. Want to play again? That, my dear roommate, is none of your business. Really? Now wait a minute. Okay, how's this? I have those books because it's been a lifelong dream of mine to get into MIT, and I figure it's pretty much now or never, so I've been cramming like crazy. Do you believe me? You saw those books, so now you think I wired explosives to Minette's door? I don't know whether to be angry or flattered. I keep it a secret because I'm afraid people will say that it's just a silly pipe dream, that I'll never make it, that I'm just some life-size dress-up doll with no brain. Darn right I will. Oh yeah, it's right over there. Heather needed a bunch of personal information so they can pay me, but I refused to give it out over the phone. I'm real paranoid about that sort of stuff. Don't ask me why, I just am. Go ahead and take it to her. Too bad. I'm not going anywhere until these mint chocolate chip cookies are finished. Too bad. Silly me, I just said that, didn't I? Well, I'll head over there, but I'm going to call you before I set one foot inside Minette's studio. And if those aren't done, or if you try to lie, well, all right. Everything you need is right here. Recipe, baking sheet, mixing bowl, measuring cups and spoons, ingredients, and if you mess up and want to start over, just turn around and dump it down the sink. One problem though. The recipe calls for fresh mint, only I had to toss the sprig I had because it was mouldy, so you're going to have to go out and find some more, which could be hard because there's some kind of mint shortage thing going on. Oh, and I'm also out of brown sugar. I think there's a way to substitute for it using molasses somehow, but that's your problem now. Remember, I'm going to call you when I get to Minette's. If those cookies aren't done, I'm going to go shopping instead, and Minette's going to go bonkers. Ta-ta! Well, are they done? Describe them. Describe them. I've made them before, so I'll know you're lying if you fail to mention the one thing that makes them different from other cookies. Describe them. Okay. See ya. Take care. Ciao, Bella. I don't think so. No. Could be. Yes, ma'am.